I spotted it precisely at 12:47 p.m., my thumb freezing mid-scroll. The Facebook post burns into my retinas like acid, dated 11:53 p.m. last night, exactly 7 minutes before my birthday officially began. A surprise party for my sister, the only girl worth celebrating, reads the caption beneath a cluster of grinning faces. Isabella, center stage as always, draped in that familiar pose of feigned surprise, one hand pressed to her chest, the other waving toward the camera. My mother's comment sits just below, a digital knife twist. At least someone is worth baking for. The room tilts slightly. My eyes lock on the glossy tech bag, perched on the table beside Isabella. The exact laptop model I've spent 16 months saving for. Its distinctive logo peeking from tissue paper. I set my phone down before my trembling hand can drop it. The office around me continues its Monday rhythm. Keyboards clicking, phones ringing, coffee brewing, while I sit perfectly still, a statue of composure hiding the earthquake inside. Bathroom. I mutter to no one in particular, rising from my desk with robotic precision. The fluorescent bathroom lights flicker as I grip the cold porcelain sink, my knuckles white. One deep breath, 2, 3. I study my reflection, Sophia Ramirez. 27 years old today, though apparently not worth remembering. A single tear escapes before I can stop it. I wipe it away with the back of my hand, leaving a small smudge of mascara on my cheek. Everything okay in there? Lisa's voice, concerned, followed by a gentle knock. Fine, I call back, voice steadier than I feel. Just a minute. I straighten my shoulders, watching determination replace hurt in my reflection. This isn't new. This is just the final evidence I needed. The memory rises unwanted. 14-year-old me, standing at the stove, stirring spaghetti sauce while solving algebra problems. Textbook propped against the sugar canister. Dad sprawled on the couch with 12-year-old Isabella, both laughing at her video game antics while Mom cheers her virtual victories. Dinner's ready. I call, 5 more minutes. Dad answered without looking up. Isabella's about to beat her high score. Dinner grew cold. My homework remained half finished. Another flash, the empty auditorium chairs at my senior speech awards ceremony. The polite applause from strangers as I accepted the plaque. The text from Mom. Sorry, honey. Isabella wasn't feeling well. We'll celebrate later. Then the contrast. Isabella's school play 2 weeks later. My parents arrived an hour early with flowers. The standing ovation they led. The dinner out afterward where Mom kept saying, "Our little star." I blink away the memories and return to my desk with measured steps. Lisa glances up, concerned, but I wave her off with a practiced smile. My computer screen glows as I open my banking app, clicking through to the payments history section. There it is in black and white. Automatic transfers, month after month, year after year. When totaled, the staggering sum. $34,745 over 38 months. Nearly $35,000 reasons why I live in a tiny apartment while Isabella enjoys her downtown loft. Why my retirement account holds pocket change while she posts Instagram stories from weekend getaways. Why I've worn the same winter coat for 6 years while she models a new one each season. My gaze lands on the small orange bear keychain hanging from my monitor, the only gift Isabella ever gave me, plucked from a carnival prize pile when we were children. The pink one's prettier, she had declared, clutching it to her chest. You can have the ugly orange one. Mom, tell her orange is ugly. And Mom nodded in agreement. I unhook the keychain, its synthetic fur worn thin from years of absent-minded touching. All these years, I've kept it as a talisman, a symbol of the connection I desperately hoped would strengthen someday. The office printer hums nearby. Someone laughs at a joke. Outside, Denver traffic flows beneath gray skies. Inside me, something shifts, a tectonic plate of patience, finally fracturing after decades of pressure. "No more," I whisper, closing my fist around the bear. The words feel foreign yet right, like trying on clothes that finally fit after years of wearing hand-me-downs. No more, no more. Later that night, my apartment walls close in around me as I spread the bills across my kitchen table. $648 for rent, $82 for electricity, $230 for groceries, numbers that should add up to a manageable life on my salary as a product operations analyst. But there it is, the seventh bill in the row, the one that doesn't belong to me. Owen Whitaker, $750. Auto payment scheduled for the 1st. I trace my finger along the landlord's name on the bank statement. Not my landlord, Isabella's. The auto payment I've maintained for 36 consecutive months, while my sister bounced between 3 jobs, each ending with the same forwarded termination emails in my inbox. Performance inconsistencies, the most recent one read, excessive absences, words that should have consequences but somehow never do. Not for Isabella. My phone pings with a voicemail notification. "Dad, Sophia, honey." Carlos's voice fills my tiny living room, that familiar coaxing tone he reserves for asking favors. "Need about $700 for a special plan this weekend. Nothing serious. Call me back when you get a chance. Not if I can help, when I can help." The assumption is so deeply embedded, it doesn't require questioning. I open my travel fund app. The balance reads $178.43. The Greece trip I've pictured since college remains digital brochures and saved articles. My retirement account shows $4,282, pathetic for 27 years of age. According to every financial advisor ever born, the math is simple. $750 monthly to Isabella's rent multiplied by 36 months equals $27,000. Add the emergencies, the car repairs, the dental work Dad couldn't quite cover, and we arrive at $34,445. The number burns in my brain like a brand. I pull out an old photo album from beneath the coffee table. 3rd grade, the regional spelling bee. Mom had promised to come, but Isabella's dance recital conflicted. "Next time," she'd said, patting my head. "Isabella needs me there. She gets so nervous." The speech workshop cancellation notification from sophomore year sits in a folder behind it, due to insufficient funds. The email had explained after Mom redirected the $180 registration fee to Isabella's summer dance intensive. "She has real talent," Mom had insisted. "Your grades are already good." Then there was the graduation dress, originally mine. The red wine Isabella spilled on it accidentally 3 days before my ceremony. But it looks better on her anyway. Mom had declared as Isabella twirled in my altered dress at her junior prom. Red complements her skin tone. I move to my laptop and open my bank account again. $6,132 in savings. It should be $40,000, would be, without the steady drain of Isabella's needs. My finger hovers over Instagram. I shouldn't look, but I do. There she is, Isabella at Camelback Mountain. Austin's sun glinting off her sunglasses. Posted 3 days after texting me, "Need rent money early this month. Power might get shut off." 4 posts later, the designer bag. Unmistakable logo glinting in the sunlight. Purchased the day after I sent her $600 for an unexpected medical expense. She's just more sensitive than you. Dad's voice echoes from countless conversations. You've always been our rock, Sophie Rose. So self-sufficient by necessity, responsible because someone had to be. I grab the orange bear keychain from my desk and sink into my worn couch, turning the small trinket between my fingers. The fur, once bright orange, has faded to a dull amber, patches worn completely bare from years of nervous handling. The pink one's prettier. Isabella had announced at the carnival, 6 years old, and already certain of her preferences. You can have the ugly orange one. Orange is ugly, Mom had agreed, smoothing Isabella's hair. But Sophia doesn't mind, do you, sweetie? And I hadn't minded, or said I hadn't. I'd slipped the orange bear onto my backpack and carried it for 14 years, through high school, college, and into my adult life. A constant reminder of what I'd been taught, that I deserved less, that my role was to fill the gaps, patch the holes, bear the weight. All night I sit, turning the bear between my fingers, watching the shadows shift across my apartment walls as night surrenders to morning. The first hint of sunrise colors my window as I finally set the keychain down on my coffee table. I retrieve a small wooden box from my bedroom closet, place the bear inside, and close the lid with a decisive click. The weight of the decision settles over me like armor as I open my laptop. The screen illuminates my face in the dim morning light as my fingers hover over the keyboard. 3 emails. That's all it will take. I type the first address, Owen Whitaker. The words flow as the sun rises, my fingers striking keys with growing certainty. With each word I feel something long dormant awakening. Not just anger, though there's plenty of that. Something more sustainable. Self-respect. The 3 emails sit as drafts in my inbox, each one a key turning in a lock I've kept sealed for years. I check the clock. 5:17 a.m. I've been awake all night, drafting, deleting, and redrafting these messages until every word stands firm as a soldier. The first email, addressed to Owen Whitaker, begins with professional courtesy that masks the tremor in my fingers. Dear Mr. Whitaker, I'm writing to inform you that effective immediately, I will no longer be making payments toward my sister Isabella Ramirez's rent at 1234 Oak Street. This arrangement was intended as temporary assistance and has continued for 38 months. Please direct all future communication regarding this property to the tenant. Respectfully, Sophia Ramirez. Short, clear, final. The second email to my bank contains similarly precise language, canceling the $750 automatic payment that has drained my account on the first of every month since Isabella's temporary setback 3.5 years ago. The third email, addressed to my family, took the longest to craft. The subject line reads, simply, Financial boundaries effective immediately. Inside is an itemized spreadsheet documenting every dollar I've provided, $34,445 over 38 months, rent payments, utility bailouts, emergency cash transfers that somehow funded weekend getaways, the birthday laptop. I add a brief message above the spreadsheet. I've supported Isabella financially for 3+ years at significant personal cost. This arrangement ends today. I'm not available for discussion on this matter. Please respect my decision. My finger hovers over the send button on the first email. The kitchen feels unnaturally quiet. The humming refrigerator, the only witness to what I'm about to do. I press send. A swoosh sound confirms its departure. The second email follows immediately after. When I reach the third email, I pause, my heart hammering against my ribs. This is the one that will detonate everything. I close my eyes, take a deep breath, and click send. The weight lifts so suddenly I feel dizzy. I stand up from my small kitchen table, stretch my arms overhead, and laugh. A sound so foreign in this apartment that it startles me. Freedom tastes like coffee, brewed at dawn after a sleepless night of reclaiming your life. My phone begins ringing at 7:23 a.m. Mom, I silence it. It rings again. Mom again. I silence it. By 8:15, I've declined 12 calls from her. Doyas, 8:32, a text from Dad lights up my screen. Your sister is crying. Call us immediately. I don't. The voicemail notification appears at 9:47 while I'm showering. Isabella's message plays as I towel dry my hair. You've ruined everything. How am I supposed to pay rent? Where am I supposed to live? Mom and Dad are freaking out. You can't just... Her voice cracks with rage. You selfish bitch. After everything we've done for you. I delete the message halfway through, a small smile playing on my lips. Everything they've done for me. The irony would be funny if it weren't so painful. By noon, the family group chat explodes. Aunts, uncles, cousins, most of whom haven't bothered to acknowledge my existence in years, suddenly have opinions about my abandonment of family duties. Uncle Robert, family helps family, period. Aunt Teresa, your sister needs support right now. Cousin Derek, wow, cold. I mute the chat and head to work, walking taller than I have in years. The surprise awaits me at my desk. A hand-drawn birthday card signed by the entire department and a single chocolate cupcake with a candle. Lisa, from the desk beside mine, smiles sheepishly. We remembered it was your birthday yesterday. Sorry it's late. My throat tightens. I don't tell them it's the first birthday acknowledgement I've received this year. My phone pings with a text from my cousin Jordan. Just heard about your email. About time. Flowers headed your way tomorrow. Happy belated birthday, warrior. After work, I walk into the tech store, the same one where I spotted that laptop in Isabella's birthday photo. The sales associate smiles as I approach. I'd like the XPS 17, please. The one with the i9 processor and 32 GB RAM. Excellent choice. He doesn't know that I've been saving for this exact model for 16 months. He doesn't know that its twin now sits on my sister's desk, purchased with my parents' money. He simply sees a woman making a purchase she can afford, and his smile feels like validation. As he processes my credit card, I imagine what I'll do with the money I'll save each month now. Travel fund, retirement account, maybe even a place with a balcony someday. The phone rings just after dinner. Owen Whitaker's name flashes on the screen. I answer with steady composure. Miss Ramirez? I received your email this morning, but there seems to be some confusion. Your sister claims she wasn't aware of this arrangement ending and... Mr. Whitaker, I interrupt, keeping my voice level. I understand this puts you in an awkward position, but my financial arrangement with that property has concluded. Please work directly with Isabella on any matters moving forward. A pause stretches between us. I see. Well, I suppose I'll need to discuss payment options with her directly then. That would be best. Thank you for understanding. Of course, have a good evening. I end the call and feel a rush of something powerful flooding my chest. For 3 years, I've paid this man's mortgage, while my sister lived in a downtown loft with stainless appliances and a doorman. For 3 years, I've come home to peeling paint and a window unit air conditioner that sounds like a dying lawnmower. No more. I sink onto my second-hand couch, closing my eyes. My phone continues to buzz with notifications, but they feel distant now, like they're happening to someone else. Tonight, for the first time in years, I'll sleep without worrying about anyone's financial problems but my own. When I finally crawl into bed, I think about what tomorrow will bring. More calls, more accusations, maybe even a surprise visit. But for the first time, I'm not afraid of their reactions. Whatever storm comes, I've built myself a shelter of self-respect, strong enough to withstand it. I drift into sleep almost immediately, my body surrendering to exhaustion, but my mind finally blissfully at peace. 2 days later, in the morning, I accepted the promotion job position in Chicago. However, that day, the lobby security desk phone rings precisely at 2:14 p.m. I glance up from my spreadsheet to see Jules North, our building security guard, gesturing at me through the glass partition. "Miss Ramirez, there's someone here insisting on seeing you. Says she's your mother." His eyes telegraph concern. She seems upset. My stomach drops as I peer past him. Mom stands in the lobby, arms crossed, foot tapping a furious rhythm against the polished floor. Her pearl earrings catch the fluorescent light as she scans the office, searching for me. "I'll be right there," I tell Jules, closing my laptop with steady hands that belie the earthquake inside. Lisa raises her eyebrows from the next desk. "Everything okay?" "Family drama." The words taste bitter. "Cover for me? Take your time?" She slides her chair toward my desk protectively. "I'll tell Peterson you're on a client call." The lobby doors whoosh open as I step through. Mom's perfume, the same floral scent she's worn since I was 5, hits me before her words do. "Finally, we need to talk about this ridiculous email." Her voice carries across the lobby. 2 receptionists pretend not to notice while typing faster. "I'm at work, Mom." I guide her toward the side door. "We can discuss this after 5. Jules watches us, hand hovering near his desk phone. I give him a subtle nod. I'm okay. Outside, Denver's perpetual drizzle mists my blazer as Mom grabs my arm. Family doesn't abandon family. Her whisper cuts sharper than a shout. "Do you know what you've done to your sister? She can't eat, can't sleep. We'll discuss this after work hours at my apartment." I maintain eye contact, my voice calm but firm. 6 o'clock. Carlos and Isabella will be there too. It's not a request. Fine. She blinks, clearly expecting more resistance. When I turn without another word, she calls after me. "This isn't who we raised you to be, Sophia." I pause at the door. No, it's who I'm choosing to be now. The rest of the afternoon crawls by in 15-minute increments. I rearrange the living room of my tiny apartment in my mind. 3 chairs plus the love seat will barely fit. I'll need to move the coffee table. At 5:58 p.m., the doorbell rings. They're early. They fill my apartment like smoke, seeping into every corner. Dad enters first, his broad shoulders making the space shrink. Mom follows, eyes scanning, cataloging, judging. Isabella trails behind, eyes red-rimmed, shoulders hunched in her designer coat, the one I recognized from the Instagram post 2 days after her desperate call for rent money. "Would anyone like water?" I offer, strangely calm, now that the moment has arrived. "Water." Isabella's voice cracks. "I don't understand what I did wrong, and you're offering water?" She collapses onto my love seat, face crumpling. The performance begins. Dad sits beside her, arm around her shoulders. "Your sister is fragile right now, Sophia." This situation with her job. Which job? I ask, genuinely curious. The marketing position she lost in January, or the graphic design job she was fired from in March? Isabella's sobbing pauses briefly, eyes darting to Dad. Mom steps forward. That's exactly why she needs support right now until she stabilizes. 4 jobs in 2 years isn't instability, Mom. It's a pattern. I move to my desk in the corner, opening my laptop. The projector I borrowed from work hums to life, casting a blue glow on my bare wall. What are you doing? Mom demands. Providing context, I click through to my organized files. This is Isabella's termination email from Web Team Creative. The text fills the wall, the phrases, excessive absences, and final warning, highlighted in yellow. Dad frowns, leaning forward. We knew about this, but these are screenshots from her Austin vacation, posted 3 days after I sent her an emergency $900 for rent. I advance through images of Isabella lounging by resort pools, shopping bags at her feet. That was Isabella starts, then falls silent as I continue. Bank statements showing $34,445 transferred over 38 months. The numbers glow accusingly. My retirement account balance, a pathetically small sum appears. My student loan balance, a painfully large number follows. The room falls silent except for the hum of the projector fan. Isabella stares at the floor. Dad looks genuinely stunned, his mouth slightly open. Mom's lips press into a thin white line. I stand straighter, shoulders back. For the first time in this cramped apartment, I feel like I can breathe. I'm not asking for permission, I say quietly. I'm informing you of my decision. The payments have stopped permanently. Isabella's head snaps up. But how am I supposed to? The same way other adults do, I reply. Work, budget, make choices. Dad clears his throat. Sophia, I didn't realize the extent of. I've accepted a promotion, I continued. Senior operations lead. In Chicago. Chicago? Isabella whispers, genuine shock breaking through her facade. For once, her surprise doesn't seem performed. I leave in 4 weeks. Mom steps forward. You can't just, I can. 2 simple words, but they hang in the air with newfound weight. Dad's arm drops from Isabella's shoulder. He studies the financial figures still projected on my wall, then looks at me, really looks at me, perhaps for the first time in years. I didn't realize, he repeats, softer now. Something shifts in his expression, the first crack in his enabling armor. The projector continues to hum as the 4 of us sit, suspended in this moment of truth, each contemplating the new reality taking shape in the confines of my small apartment. After years of imbalance, the scales have finally tipped. She has always been more sensitive than you. Carla paces my tiny living room, heels clicking against hardwood like a ticking time bomb. From the day she was born, the doctor said she needed extra attention. I lean back against my kitchen counter, arms crossed, watching this familiar performance. The script hasn't changed in 27 years, only now I can see it for what it is. Isabella has special challenges. Carla continues, voice rising to that practiced pitch of maternal martyrdom. You've always been so capable. She makes the words sound like an accusation. Carlos shifts uncomfortably on my second-hand couch, glancing between us. Isabella sits beside him, mascara strategically smeared, tissues clutched in a white-knuckled fist. We're not asking for much, Carla says, stopping to fix me with a look that once would have made me reach for my checkbook. Just continue the payments until she stabilizes. Another 6 months, maybe a year. And then what? My voice comes out steadier than I feel. Another year after that, and another. You're choosing money over blood. Carla's eyes narrow. Is that laptop really worth destroying your family? The laugh escapes before I can stop it. Short, sharp, and utterly without humor. This isn't about a laptop. This is about $34,000 and years of being treated like an ATM with legs. That's not fair, Carlos interjects weakly. No, it wasn't fair. I agree, looking directly at him. It wasn't fair when you missed my college graduation because Isabella had a cold. It wasn't fair when I worked 2 jobs while she found herself on my dime. And it certainly wasn't fair when you all forgot my birthday, but threw her a surprise party 7 minutes before midnight. Isabella flinches at this, something unscripted flickering across her face. I'm choosing self-respect over enabling. I continue, feeling something shift in the room as the words land. And if that's destroying our family, then what exactly are we preserving? Silence falls, heavy with the weight of decades of unspoken truths. For the first time, I see uncertainty in Carla's eyes. Her mouth opens, closes, no ready response available. In her arsenal of manipulation, Carlos stares at the floor, shoulders slumped. Then something unexpected happens. Isabella's breathing changes, becoming ragged and uneven. Her perfect tear-streaked makeup begins to run in earnest as the practiced sobs transform into something raw and real. I can't. She gasps, dropping the tissues. I don't know how to do this on my own. The confession hangs in the air between us. The first honest words my sister has spoken to me in years. I feel my resolve waver, that old instinct to rush in and fix everything rising like muscle memory. But I plant my feet firmly on the floor of my apartment, the apartment I can barely afford because of her. You can learn. I say, my voice gentler, but no less firm. But I won't do it for you anymore. Isabella looks up, meeting my eyes directly. Something passes between us. Not forgiveness, not yet, but perhaps recognition. For the first time, she's seeing me as a person with limits rather than an endless resource. How? Her voice sounds smaller, stripped of its usual performance. The same way I did, 1 step at a time. 5. Carlos clears his throat, drawing our attention. His eyes are red-rimmed, hands clasped tightly in his lap. I've failed you both, he says quietly. The words seem to cost him something essential. Especially you, Sophia. My breath catches. In 27 years, I've never heard him acknowledge this. I minimized you because you seemed so self-reliant. He continues, voice rough with emotion. You never complained, never caused trouble. It was easier to focus on the squeaky wheel. He stands, approaching me with hesitant steps. I don't expect forgiveness, but I'd like a chance to do better, to be the father you deserved all along. The sincerity in his voice reaches something deep inside me, a childish hope I thought long buried, but hope can be dangerous without boundaries. Words are easy, I say. I need to see real actions. Name them, he says simply. I take a deep breath. Isabella needs a job with an employment contract I can verify. She needs a working budget she sticks to, and both of you should consider therapy. Carla opens her mouth to protest, but Carlos silences her with a look. And the financial support, he asks? Ends today, I answer. But emotional support with boundaries? That door remains conditionally open. But Carlos nods slowly, then does something he hasn't done in years. He steps forward and hugs me. Not the perfunctory embrace of obligation, but something real and solid. For a moment, I allow myself to lean into it. to feel the tentative reconnection. When they leave 20 minutes later, the apartment feels different, emptier, yet somehow more mine than before. I pour myself a glass of wine and stand by the window, watching them walk to their car below. Carla's stiff back, Carlos's hand hesitantly touching Isabella's shoulder, my sister's uncharacteristic quiet. I don't know if they'll meet my terms. I don't know if real change is possible after so many years of established patterns. But for the first time since I can remember, the decision isn't mine to make. I touch the cool glass of the window, seeing my reflection overlap with the world outside. There's peace in this moment, not the false peace of capitulation, but the true peace that comes from standing firmly in your own truth. No matter what happens next, I've found the one boundary that matters most, the one around my own worth. The morning sun streams through sheer curtains, painting golden stripes across my Chicago apartment. I stand by the window, coffee mug warming my palms as I take in the city skyline, my skyline now. The view from the 12th floor still surprises me each morning, like a gift I'm continually unwrapping. 1 year. I whisper to my reflection in the window glass. 1 year since I closed my hand around that worn orange bear keychain and whispered, "No more." My phone buzzes on the counter. "Jordan, just landed. Can't wait to see your place. Chicago's freezing compared to Arizona." I smile, typing back, "Bringing an extra sweater to the airport. See you in an hour." The apartment feels different today, adorned with modest decorations for my 28th birthday celebration. Simple white fairy lights drape across bookshelves. Fresh flowers, my own choice, not an obligation or afterthought, brighten the dining table. A small cake from the bakery down the street waits in the refrigerator. This birthday, my choice, my terms. I open the wooden keepsake box on my desk, the one that holds the orange bear keychain. What once symbolized exclusion now represents the moment I chose myself. I run my finger over its worn fur before closing the lid. Dr. Calloway would be proud. During yesterday's therapy session, she noted how my posture has changed. Shoulders back, chin lifted, voice steady. "You've reclaimed your space in the world," she said. "Not just the physical space of this new city, but the emotional space you deserve." The chime of my laptop interrupts my thoughts. Dad's video call. "Happy birthday, Sophia," he says when I answer, his smile tentative but genuine. The background shows his familiar living room, but something's different. He's sitting at the desk he finally assembled after years of promising to do it. "Thanks, Dad. Got your card right?" "I sent it last week." "I did. The bookstore gift card was perfect." He nods, relief visible. "Listen, I want you to know I'm proud of you. The promotion, the move, everything. The words hang between us. Unfamiliar but welcome. 2 visits in the past year have begun rebuilding what was broken. One careful conversation at a time. "How's Isabella doing?" I ask. 4 months at the pharmacy now. Her manager says she hasn't missed a shift. His voice carries surprise rather than the automatic defense it once held. "She's finishing those bookkeeping classes next month." That's good to hear. We talk for 15 more minutes before saying goodbye. Not the marathon problem-solving sessions of before, but something healthier. When I end the call, I notice Mom's brief text wishing me happy birthday. The message is neither warm nor cold, just acknowledging. It's enough. My doorbell rings at noon. Emma and Rachel arriving early to help set up for the small gathering. Friends who know my history but don't define me by it. Friends who value boundaries. The birthday girl, Emma announces, handing me a gift bag, while Rachel carries in a bottle of wine. We're laughing in the kitchen when my phone pings with an email notification. Isabella's name appears in my inbox for the first time in months. The subject line reads, "Your day." I hesitate before opening it, excusing myself to the bedroom for a moment of privacy. The message is short. "Happy birthday, Sophia. I've been thinking about last year and all the years before. I took advantage of your love because it was easier than standing on my own. I'm trying to do better now. Enjoy your day." Not a full apology, but acknowledgement, progress. I type a response encouraging her efforts while maintaining the boundaries that have allowed us both to grow. When I return to my friends, I'm smiling. Later, as Jordan helps arrange appetizers and we wait for the other guests, I catch a glimpse of myself in the hallway mirror. I'm 28 years old today, smaller in family perhaps, but richer in peace. The woman looking back at me stands tall, no longer bearing the weight of others' responsibilities. This birthday, I am the one worth celebrating.